All right. Shalom, shalom. Of course, before we get into this live stream, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. Also as well, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well to this very day. And is continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And also as well, shalom to the hopefully elect. That's also laboring his work. And also continue to labor to show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, in truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. Now, of course, it's another edition of the Spiritual Thoughts in Transit. Of course, whatever comes to mind through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're going to touch up on certain topics, through the spirit. And, of course, Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is Akim. To see our brothers that believe in his word, and also the few sisters as well that's also tuning into the lessons. Shalom, much honors. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. And of course, who can but prophesy? That's what I'm going to that's what I'm going to start off this live stream with, man. Who can but prophesy? I mean, you see the times that we're in today. You see that this system is crumbling. And you see that Esau Edom his power is dwindling. Who can but prophesy? Here it is, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is threatening, pursuant to I believe it's Second Esdras. Yeah, Second Esdras, the book of scripture in Second Esdras where it says the Lord shall threaten who shall not be utterly beaten to powder. And right now the Lord is threatening. And he's sending down death threats by way of prophecy. And that comes in the form of the famines, the coming war, the calamities that's spoken of within the scriptures. The Lord's continually threatening this place. And guess what? The people are not fearing. The sound of the alarm is being sounded around the world. And yet, there's no one that's going to battle. There's no one preparing themselves for the battle to come. That's preparing themselves for the war. And that's why a lot of these people are going to get caught up, man. Especially our people, the majority of our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're going to be taken in the coming destruction that's coming because they haven't prepared themselves. How many Jakes that's that's taking on the mind of seriousness when it comes to prophecy? How many Jakes that's holding on to these words that's being spoken of by the prophets today? The majority of our people, you don't see that. You don't see them taking into account the things that are being spoken of concerning the prophets. And that's why I made the mention that a lot of our people are going to be taken in great number. Also, it says that in Second Esdras as well, that our people are going to be taken in great number. Because why? Because they've been given liberty to turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but they despised it. They despised the words that are being published towards them, and this message is towards our people. It's not towards the heathens. It's not towards Esau Edom. It's not towards the Ishmaelites. It's not towards the Moabites. It's not towards the Ammonites, or the Ishmaelites, or the Hagarenes, or the Hamites, should I say? This message is not for them, because they took a piece of this kingdom and they have furthered the affliction. And that tells you that in the scriptures as well, that they have furthered the affliction of the nation of Israel, which again are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And since they have furthered that affliction, guess what? The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to turn that recompense upon their own head. All right, it tells you that in the scriptures as well. It says, will you render to me a recompense? And if you do render to me a recompense, I will return your recompense upon your own head. So, guess what? It's going to be it's a reward for what they have done to the nation of Israel, man. You think the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has forgotten what they did, especially Esau? Lord, you think the Lord has forgotten all the things, the atrocities that's done to our people? No, man. It's fresh on his mind. Think about it. Yahushai, he's in the spirit world. It's fresh on his mind that he was crucified by Esau, the Romans. And he's ready and he's poised to come back and to take out this man. And even, and by the way, like it says in the book of Revelations, It speaks about the Lord. Everybody is gonna be here to witness the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, even them that pierced him. Now, there's a reason why the Lord Yahweh Shai pointed out that individual that pierced him on his side. He has enemies, man. And if you think that the Lord Yahweh Shai doesn't have enemies, then you have another thing coming. All right, even the men of old, the righteous men, they have enemies, man. And you think that we don't have enemies today? Of course we do. So that's why the Lord Yahweh Shai, and guess what? The Lord takes account of that. He knows that we have enemies, because the enemies of the Lord is enemies of ours. And that's why the Lord is going to raise up and bring down recompense, like I said earlier, upon our enemies, man. Upon the ones that have rebelled against Yahweh Shai, and the ones that have taken our people and used them and abused them. Because today, in today's society, our people are being taken advantage of, especially by Esau, man. This man has taken certain of our people that's influential, that has a foothold, so to speak, and used them to push forth their agenda by way of this media. And guess what? Those same individuals that took the pledge, that made a covenant with death, like it says in the book of Isaiah, guess what? They're going to reap the same. You made a contract with death. Guess what? You're going to get that. You're going to get death. Okay? The Lord's not mocked, man. Like it says in the book of Galatians, the Lord Yahweh Shai is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that she also reap. So guess what? You sow into death, you're going to reap death. You sow into calamities, you're going to reap calamities. You sow slavery, especially Esau, Edom. You sow slavery, guess what? You're going to reap slavery, man. And that's what's coming to this man. It's slavery, captivity. All right, being under subjection. And the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to make sure that's done. Pursuant to the book of Psalms, the 2nd chapter, it says, ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. And they are going to be our inheritance. They're going to be our possessions. And we're going to do whatever we're with them, wherever we list. All right, according to the law, of course. All right, they're going to be underneath a subjection under us, and they're going to be possessed under us. They're going to be our possessions. And just like what you take with your possessions, you do whatever you want with your possession, because you own that. All right, no one else can tell you what you can do with what you own. So guess what? In that time to come, nobody's going to make a peep or raise their voice against the men of Yahweh Shai, the Israelites, because we're going to be in power in that day. The kingdom that's to come, all right, is going to be a kingdom that's full of righteousness, and that righteousness is going to spread throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why it says in the scripture as well that that our people, all right, Israel as a whole, is going to be all righteous. They're going to know Yahweh Shai in that day. Every one of us is going to know the Lord Yahweh Shai. It's not going to be a man. It's not going to be anyone that's going to be out on the highways and byways again, in the marketplaces, teaching our people. That's not going to happen again, man. There's going to be no need, because everybody's going to know Yahweh Shai and the things that he has done. Like it says in the book of Jeremiah, right? It says that it's no longer going to be said that the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of the north country. And what's that north country? North America, which is Babylon the Great, here in America, man, the United States. All right, that's going to be Noah's the bride, just how he did in the land of Egypt. That fame that the Lord Yahweh Shai obtained by doing marvelous works and bringing down plagues upon the Egyptians, that's going to be brought again. That's going to be brought back, all right, in this time. Guess what? But it's going to be intensified. It's going to be even more dramatic than it was back in the land of Egypt when we was under captivity under the Egyptians. The Lord's going to make a spectacle on the planet Earth by taking down a great kingdom such as America, because America is known as a great kingdom on the earth. All right, it speaks about that in the book of Revelations, about how the merchants of the earth were made rich through the abundance of Babylon's delicacies, how this place has caused these other nations and other places to drink of her wine. This is a mecca, so to speak, of the doctrines and ideas being pushed throughout the planet Earth. This is the epicenter of wickedness being published. And that's why Yahweh Shai is going to root up this place. And the way that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to root up this kingdom is by destroying Babylon the Great, because this is the source. of all wickedness. This is the source of your calamities. This is where it all comes from. Wherever you go, anywhere in parts of the world, you see footholds or footprints of Esau and where he's been. And those footprints come in the form of what? McDonald's, Walmart, these big malls and things of that nature. And all these things goes to show you that this man has a foothold in the whole entire planet Earth. So, and that's why we come against guys like, Ronald Dalton Jr. and other characters like him, because he's not the first one. There's other characters like that saying, to get up and get out of America and go to somewhere else, a secluded location, But no matter where you go, you're still underneath captivity. Because you got passports, you got licenses. You had to go through these different channels to even leave this place. So no matter where you go, you still underneath the captivity and the rulership underneath this man. Because again, he has a footprint in everywhere he goes. Okay? So no matter where you go, he's there. All right? No matter where in the world you go, he's there. And his influence is there. Because there's nowhere in this world that this man has not set his foot on or take possession of. But in the time to come, this place, America, this is going to be the place where the Lord is going to bring deliverance and destruction. All right? At the same time. Because at this time, the times that we're coming into, the Lord is going to completely and utterly destroy Babylon the Great and destroy the source of all wickedness, which is who? Esau, Edom, in which he's using this place among others, right? Because when you read in the scriptures, it speaks about the three unclean spirits as frogs. So all that's got to be uprooted, man. All right, America, all right, the UK, London, Vatican City, all these different places that Esau, Edom has control over or is using to control the planet Earth, those got to be uprooted, man. And the Lord's going to do that soon. All right. And the way the Lord's going to do that is going to be by way of fire, because this place got to be cleansed. Everywhere you go on this planet Earth, it has been defiled by Esau. It's been defiled by Esau, and everywhere you go is unclean, no matter where you go. So this place got to be clean, dissolved. Okay, like it says in the book of 2 Peter, it says this place, the elements are going to melt with fervent heat. Okay, and also as well, this place is going to be clean, dissolved. So the Lord is going to make a cleansing of the earth by way of that fire. And that's the device that the Lord has used. And also as well, the scriptures speak about the missiles. That is the device that the Lord is going to use to bring down this fire. That the Lord is going to use to bring down the great destruction that's coming. Because these people, even though we're telling them these things, right? Just how before, when Noah was telling the people that it was going to rain, is going to flood, they didn't believe Noah. They didn't believe that what he was saying, And why is that? Because they lacked faith, and also on top of that, because their minds were completely fixated on wickedness and abominations on the earth. Isn't that not happening today? Is that not what the people's minds are at today? On evil continually, on wickedness and abominations on the planet Earth? So the same thing is going on today. You have the remnant, which Noah represented that remnant. They're here doing the same thing, prophesying the end of the world. Okay, the end of an age, the end of a system that's been set up. Okay, and on that same token, guess what? That great death, which the first death was by way of the flood. All right, here comes the second death, and what's that second death? Fire. And that's why this place is going to be reduced to a lake of fire. That's why when you read in Revelations, all right, John the Revelator, he was looking down on America. That's what he was seeing. That's the vision that he was given. He saw America being burnt up, and he compared it to a lake of fire. All right, and I brought this out before, right? No, I'm gonna bring it out again if you can receive it. But when you witness, fire in a pit of fire, it moves just like water would move. You have waves of fire, moving, swaying to and fro. Okay, that's how America's gonna look from the outer atmosphere. It's gonna be burnt, just how you turn on a grill, and you light the flame. Guess what? That's how America's gonna be reduced All right, America is going to look just like that, man. It's going to be lit on fire, okay? It's going to be as a lake of fire, man, okay? Everywhere here in America is going to be touched by that great fire that's coming. And also as well, we're going to be rejoicing in that time, because the men of the Lord are going to be looking down on the destruction of America, man. So everything you see now from these skyscrapers, these establishments, the people, everything you see here is going to melt. All the elements that you see here is going to melt with that heat, that extreme heat that is cleansing the planet Earth, because that's what the world needs right now. Because if not, then this man will rise back into power. So that's why he's got to be completely taken out of power. He's got to be knocked off his pedestal, and he's got to be taught a lesson on what not to do. But guess what? That's gonna result in his life, because he has done too much. He's done way too much on the planet Earth for him to go scot-free and for him to continue to exist. He's got to go, man. He has got to disappear, because if not, then that disease is going to continue to spread. You have to cut off that. You got to cut it off by the root. And that's why the scriptures speak about that in the book of Isaiah. It says that the Lord's going to cut off the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew. So that's why the Lord is going to completely cut off that nation. All right, the nation of Edom. And he's going to cut off by way of them going into captivity. And at the end of that, pursuant to the book of Obadiah, right, they're going to serve their captivity, and they're going to be destroyed, man. And that's going to be the end of all wickedness on the planet Earth. Because again, this man, you leave him to his own devices, and you leave him alone long enough, he's going to think of all uncanny wickedness. And he's going to continue to think of ways to overthrow the nation of Israel every single time, man. That's why this man, he has got to go. He needs to disappear, because he's the bringer, the harbinger of wickedness. He's the messenger of death on the planet Earth. So that's why he's got to go. And guess what? That's going to happen very soon. And he knows this, man. That's why he cannot sleep at night. That's why he has to take medications and drugs to keep himself sane in these last days. Evelyn Rothschild just gave up the ghost. All right? And it lets you know that these devils, they are losing right now. They're losing this war. And it's making an impact on their psyche, because they're not able to think rationally anymore. And that's the Lord taking that wisdom away from them. He's taking away that wisdom that they once had, all right, to do certain things on the earth. And it's replacing that wisdom that they had with fear. And you know what happens when you fear? That fear drives you to do, uncanny things, man. All right, when you see a people that you have loathed for so long and that you despised are starting to gain advantage, that does something to your mentality. And guess what? Esau sees that, man. He sees that. And now his mentality is, now that these people are rising up again, now what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? And that's why it's written in Jeremiah 30:7, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, 2nd Ezra, there's another one, 2nd Ezra 16th chapter, the 70th verse, Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. All these scriptures is showing you that this man is going to just pull out all the stops, because he is no longer able to function and think rationally anymore, because he's going to be driven by complete fear. The fear of the rising of the nation of Israel. That's what this man fears the most. And really what this man fears the most is us returning back to our power. That's what he mainly fears, man. Because during the time of captivity, he beat the nationality out of us. He beat our heritage out of us, man. And forced us to call ourselves by another name other than the name of Israel. And now that we're coming back, All that work and all that money that he's put in to keep us away from our nationality, from our heritage, all that's for nothing, man. And now he's seeing that all those efforts that he made is for naught. And now that's why he's been moved to put out certain agents in the forefront and send out certain individuals to put this truth out on the spotlight for them to give them an excuse to try to come after us, man. But we see through that. We see through those wiles, man. Why? Because we have the armor. We have the armor of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. The whole armor, should I say. The whole armor to stand against the wiles of the devil. And who's the devil that the Bible speaks of? Esau, Edom, which again is the true nationality of the so-called white man. And since we have this armor, he is unable to do anything because we have returned back to our power. We have made a connection to Yahweh Bashmel Shai once again. And Esau can't sever that. He can't disconnect that connection that we have anymore with our Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai, because it's been solidified. And no matter how many attempts that he tries, he's unable to do anything, because Yahweh Bashmel Shai now has risen up on the planet Earth. And now he's bringing down judgments, and it's going to lead all the way up to what I was speaking about earlier, into him being downtrodden, to be taken down, and to be brought into the kingdom in chains. That's the future of all Edomites, to be put in chains, man. To be put in chains and to be ruled over, because this man, he has no business being in rulership at all. That's why he's regarded as a child. And the scriptures speak about that. It says, "Woe unto thee, O land, when thy king is a child." Okay? And he is the ultimate child. When you see the activities that this man participates in, you see that he is nothing but a child in an adult's body, all around. He can't even take care of his own damn self. Why? Because he's not able to govern himself according to ways of the wisdom of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, because it's far from him, even though he attempts to, right? But he can't, because it's in his DNA to go off. Case in point, Esau himself, he gave up his birthright just for uncooked meat, for food that wasn't even finished yet. He gave up a birthright, in which when it comes to a birthright, man, you know, birthright is sacred. That's something that you don't ever give up. But this man, he gave it up. He gave it up for food. He gave it up for carnality, something that's carnal, that's only going to feed you for a couple of hours or a few hours at best. Something that's only sustained you for a short amount of time. And that's why Babylon, Babylon emulates that same thing. Babylon imitates things that are only satisfying for a moment. And that's why the scriptures say that this man only has a little season to rule, because that's his whole vibration. That's him. That's his whole making. He is here for the moment, and he's gone the next moment. And that's what his kingdom is built off of. So for that same morsel of meat that he gave up his birthright for, okay, that birthright was given unto us. And that was all set up in the spirit. Because you see the mannerisms that this man has. You see his mentality. It's all embedded in the flesh, and to please the flesh. So that's why this kingdom that you see today is built off that same vibration, to please the flesh. Because when you eat, eating is a form of pleasing the flesh. All right? Versus fasting. When you fast, you fast without eating or drinking anything. All right? And when you fast like that, all right, you're making yourself into an angel of the Lord. The scriptures tell you that. You're making yourself unto like the angels. But guess what? This man is unable to do that. He can't set his foot on doing anything of that nature, because he is carnal. And again, this place, Babylon the Great, does that same thing. That's why you see multitudes and multitudes on top of multitudes of restaurants, of entertainment that's here on Babylon the Great. because this place emulates that. It emulates the lust of the flesh. And that's another reason, or that's one of the main reasons why Babylon has to be destroyed, because it perpetuates an entity or a vibration that is not of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. And it's an eyesore. That's why the scriptures tell you that the Lord's eyes are too pure to behold evil, to behold abominations, to behold wickedness. And what you do with an eyesore, man, what happens when you see something like a stain, right? When you see a blot, you look at it and it's irksome to see. You know, it's something that when you view it, you know, it bothers you. So what do you do with that? You clean it. You wash it. And guess what? America is a blot on the planet Earth right now. It's a blot in the sight of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. So guess what the Lord's going to do? He's going to clean it. He's going to clean this earth of that blot and that stain that's on the planet Earth. And the way the Lord's going to do that, again, like I said earlier, is going to be by way of the destroying of that blot, of that stain that's on the earth, by way of fire, which is one of the main cleaning agents on the planet Earth besides water. Because the Lord already used that cleaning agent of water. He used that. All right. But guess what? That same wickedness is back today. So now the Lord's got to use the next one, which is fire. And that's going to be the ultimate destroying. That's going to be the ultimate solution that the Lord's going to use to dissolve and to clean the planet Earth. Because the longer that this place is set up and put in the presence of the people, the longer it's going to get on the Lord's nerves. The longer you stare at this blot and this stain on the planet Earth, the longer and longer you get irritated. And that's how Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai is right now. He is now that irritation has gotten to the highest peak, to the point to where the Lord is now poised to clean it. All right. So yeah, that's all I want to touch upon in this live stream. You know, I'm getting close to my destination, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out on that note. But like always, with these live streams and these lessons and videos being put up, you know, Lord's will is edifying. Lord's will is fed you to the full, and that this got you going, you know, for the rest of the night, going to the next day and the day after. You know, however long the Lord has us here for, you know. And you know, shalom to the sincere brothers that are tuning in as well. You know, shalom to the few sisters that believe, as well as tuning into the lessons and the live streams. And I'm gonna go ahead and close out on that note. So once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Barach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day, still continually ruling well to this very day, still pushing His word headstrong. And also as well, shalom, peace and safety, salutations, and much due honors to the hopefully elect. All right, to the ones that are tuning into these lessons sincerely. All right, that's taking in all this word, taking in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai continually, and all faith, truth, and sincerity, and all charity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.